Oh, that went well. Everyone very quiet today.
Hmm?
There's no one in the chat.
What?
Just you.
Yeah. I'm gonna be very good, man.
What happened to
Because
your
I
fifth?
literally, it's been a week that I played PS4. I literally constantly play on PC and then all of a sudden I get a call, yeah, you have to play League match. Okay. Guess so.
Sounds about right.
Sound depression. What am I in chat? I don't know. I was just bored.
Oof.
What's up, Membury, anyway?
Yeah, not much at the moment. It's not been very many games recently. It's our bye week, so.
Oh no. How come you lost the vision, man? I was rooting for you. Come on.
What'd you say?
Come on.
How come you lost the vision, man? I was rooting for you.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That was a weird game.
Hey, you gonna go attack or defense, Lauren?
Bang him. Nah, keep it going. Go on, yeah.
I didn't want my ears anyway.
Thank you. Brave, you know. Bang him. Using all sides to be the defender or attacking on. Give me a second. Actually, this needs to be the course.
Glenn!
Oh Glenn, stop with haast, kom op.
Glenn! Kijk
wat?
nu.
Guys, are we waiting for anyone or are we good to go?
We
Good to go. I'm deaf. Fuck.
Ja, om te
Hey! Can we start? I need to eat, huh? I need
Yeah.
to eat.
Who? Lalon, are you guys good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go.
No,
We're good to start.
Je zit dan niet Laren naast.
Lalon?
Toon.
Membury good cast
Glenn.
EU.
Glenn. Hey, Glenn, stuur door.
Guys, I
Kijk,
can't
kijk,
hear.
man.
I can't tell if you usually are ready to go or not because they're not in chat. So far
Yeah,
as I
we're
can
ready. Yeah, they're all on Vinkje. All on
Got
Vinkje.
my
just gonna-
people.
Membury.
Pretty sure we can start. I don't.
They are all on the bird.
Yeah, Lalon, you
They're
good to
all
go?
on Vinkje.
Nee,
I can't hear. I can't hear a thing they're saying because of the music, so I'm just gonna start unless anyone shouts no in the next.
Everybody is
Yeah,
on
cool,
the
cool.
bird.
You can start.
Have fun, guys. Good luck.
I'm not ready.
Yeah,
Yo, guys.
protest!
Okay, so we are live with Locked versus QuT on border. QuT on attack first with J-Power, Lalon, Yummy, and Obliviously. I'll get that one right mid-game. Then Locked with Moon, Hades, Pro Hard Gunner, Zeri, and Natix. Thatcher band coming out here from Locked Up. I'd be intrigued to see. I spoke to Lalon following a league match against him. I spoke to him about the style of play that QuT have. They say they don't target ban, so I'm assuming we're not going to see anything here coming out. The Jackal ban, okay, so from what I've seen of Locked Up, they don't typically play the Jackal on this map. I think they run the Nomad and Blackbeard most notably, so no target ban coming out for either of those. Obviously, Jackal band going to make it a lot more comfortable for roamers. Thatcher going to make it imperative to go below or play Maverick. And fairly standard mirror band, both Spanish Velvet Shell operators getting taken out here. Locked Up are my favourites going into this match. I think it could be quite a close match. From what I've seen of the two teams, Locked Up have a very distinctive style. They run a lot of Blackbeard, Monty, Nomad. They run some really niche operators and they do them really well. QUT on the other hand, I think have the gun skill to go against Locked Up. I really do think that they seem to have good communication. They don't seem to be as strategic. They don't seem to have any pattern behind what they do. So I think it is a lot more of a case of improvising and being adaptive mid-round. But I think they're very good at it, and I think they can put up a fight against good teams. Armory coming out here for Locked to start the match, and they were quite slow in picking their operator, so I'm not sure if that Mozzie was an accident or not, but they have got the double C4. I'm not sure if Moon will be playing C4 as well. They have got the double, potentially triple C4. We'll most likely see the Valkyrie and the Mozzie playing below though, so it'll be double roaming below. Doubling up on the QuT as well, so lots of wall denial here, which goes into the Thatcher ban.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So I've casted a couple of games on Border. Obviously at this point we know that it's likely to be removed in a lot of PS4 leagues at Oregon following the decisions around it in actual Pro League. So it is very worn out, everyone knows that. But at the same time, in PS4 leagues it can be quite interesting to see which teams are more familiar with how to play it. Obviously there's a lot of footage of actual Pro League teams playing it and you can copy a lot from them. But PS4 teams don't necessarily have it all worked out. They're not people who've been playing this game at a competitive level for 4 years. And it's not as worn out of the PS4 community as the PC community, that's for sure. So, fairly standard hold coming out from Locked Up. They're not extending into CC at all by the looks of it. They're just reinforcing the fountain and office, extending the site out a little bit to the southeast. Hades with the spawn peak. He actually took out Lalon. I'm not sure. Lalon looks to be having some ping issues, and Hades here just absolutely popping off. I haven't caught any of this, unfortunately, as I wasn't expecting it. Really bad start here coming out from QUT, who just didn't seem ready for the aggression coming out in the first 30 seconds. And this is the thing, Border's a really small map. I think you have to expect the runouts for spawn peaks. Just questioning their gun skill a little bit here if they're losing gunfights this quickly. Not necessarily gun skill, but awareness, and I don't know if they've warmed up before this or played any casual or ranked together or anything, but that's warning signs to me that they're not ready to come into the scrim. Valmite does get down. It is J-Power in the 1v5. And the double kill does mean that this won't be a flawless round, but it's going to be an incredible comeback here as Moon does confirm the kill, and J-Power gets 2 kills, but an awful first round there coming out from QUT, who looked half asleep on it. Hades with the double spawn peak, which was a bit questionable, but we'll roll with it. Going down to vents now, hopefully QUT able to laugh that one off. No Jaeger coming out from Locked here, which I think could be a bait. I'm expecting a 6 pick, but actually taking an alibi, so potentially a little bit of risk. They have got Visophia, Sledge, Ash, none of whom will have to deal with their projectiles being caught. We have got the Vigil, Mozzie, and Mute. Definitely unorthodox here from Locked Up.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
I'm hoping this match doesn't turn into a ton of spawn peaks. Border could go that way sometimes, so we'll see how it plays out. I'll make an effort to actually stay on Hades at the start of this round, just in case he goes off again.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
So they are extending vents out quite a lot into the custom side of the map. Maybe just putting out these pests and jammers. There's a delay droning over on this side, and then it doesn't look like they're roaming above at all. They have reinforced the hatches above customs, so quite an interesting way of making sure you're not going to lose hold of customs, but leaving the hatches open is a little bit questionable. Let's go to Hades, see if he spawns again. He is getting very aggressive, but he does back off without a kill this time, so.
Drones up and running.
Lots of spawn peeks here from Locked, who seem to be confident going into this match, to say the least. Mozzie here sees the Slayer, takes a couple of shots, has to back off. And now QUT have got to the map successfully, so we've got a chance to just settle down a little bit, work out a plan. They spot the guy upstairs in CCTV, who does drop down into waiting. And J Power does get the opening kill here onto the Cav of Moon. And they have got fairly good top floor control. Natix does get a kill. I'm not sure what that angle was that he was actually contesting there. And there isn't anyone actually contesting top of, as I say that, the Mozzie walks up the main stairs, the sledge has died, so the vertical pressure here is not particularly powerful coming out from Locked Up. You have it leveled out to 3 versus 3. Mozzie here with the flank onto the Zephyr, sees the guy at the half wall as well, takes a shot towards him and does get punished for it. So Thermite and Viash here in a 2v2. They do have enough angles upstairs to work with on vents, but without the man count it's going to be very difficult for them to get a plant down. They do see the alibi in amongst her prisoners. And they're going to have to go for gunfights a little bit here. The Thermite just peeking down the hatch, not sure. They know about this alibi, but they most likely don't know where this mute is playing. Zeri here on the roam over by Customs. And the mute Mozzie combo not really doing much. It's not particularly placed well enough to stop the droning coming out in sight. A mute has flanked his way up Metal and does get punished for it, so just Gunner alive as the alibi, just watching the hatch, but don't think he hears. He does hear the drop below and gets punished for it, and 1-1. Jay potentially, no, not an ace, it was 4K that round coming out, so Jay is on fire here. Yumi just getting that extra kill, which is helping his team out. So Jay's stepping up here, saving his team from potentially losing the first 2 rounds. 3 players on QUT yet to get off the mark. Back to vents again here for Locked, who this time do bring a Jaeger. Again, bringing back Mozzie bout combos. So lots of intel, denial, a couple of C4s to boot. Definitely good operators for Border with so much soft floor and a real emphasis on vertical play as well. Border does have a very distinctive style where the majority of the sites get held from above, which I think is why it stayed in Pro League for such a long time. It is quite unique in that respect.
Attackers need to locate
in regards to there's no second objective on the top floor, so you have to see all of these weird bottom floor sites where you hold them from above.
Attackers have located a bomb. 10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb. The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Similar kind of roam coming out here, up in CC with the Vigil just hiding in this desk spot. Let's spectate Jay. He doesn't get the opening kill here. Lalon again picked off. He's 0 for 3 so far across the opening rounds. He did mention to me that he's been playing, he's not been playing PS4 for the last few days, so he's probably very rusty at this point. Natix with another kill, and Jay is still on the board, who seems to be the only person on QUT showing any fragging ability so far. Well placed nade there, getting through the window, but not finding anybody on the other end. Jay runs into 2 LMIs, misses a load of shots on the Ella as a result of that, and does just get taken out here, leaving Yummy in the 1v5 situation. And again, only Jay so far off the board, really, for QuT, other than Yummy, who does have the 1 kill, but struggling to find his second of the game. They're getting chased down by this Ella shotgun, who he can't get away from. He does get the headshot onto Zeri, who's getting way too aggressive. The impact grenade is going off, just baiting him. Mozzie comes up and says, Yummy with a double kill using this bearing 9 here. Very nice aim to get the headshots on it. Lots of soft straw below him, but he does get punished. And it is 2-1 here for Locked Up, and these rounds are swinging back and forth from a lot of individual play so far. Natix having a very good fragging game so far. Hades got the double spawn peak, he's not done anything since then. So back to armory lockers, and let's see if they go for spawn peaks again. I am surprised to see Locked Up not really getting off the ground so far. Jay had 1 really good round, but other than that they've got several players who just don't seem to be in the match. And Jay's not going to be able to carry every single round, so I'm concerned they could be heading towards quite a heavy defeat here. Now, Vigoya coming out from Locked Up, so I do think this is going to be a little bit more of a sweaty round from them.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So Goyo Shield in the metal detector. Oh, double Goyo Shield, so really not looking to get rushed up main stairs. I would imagine we'll see a fairly similar hold for Locked Up, where they're just going to extend the site out into Office and Fountain. Nothing particularly interesting coming out in terms of extending into a roam, but just setting up the site how they want it, putting a couple of shields in good spots to be able to contest some major plant spots. And
5 seconds remaining.
yeah, nothing overly new, but the old reliable coming out.
And defuse the bomb. Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser. Attackers recovered the bomb.
Hades is spawn peeking again. This is quite a dirty angle, but I don't think anyone's spawned on this side, so I don't think he's going to get anyone from this. Attackers here, no chance whatsoever of coming up main stairs, and they really are contesting every possible opportunity. Without camps potentially giving them the intel to do so. Sledge here does take a little bit of damage, but survives the spawn peak, so they're just wasting time here, and Natix just going for more and more peaks. The attackers are struggling to get to the building again. Getting droned out now. I'm not sure if he hears the door getting open behind him. I'm not sure if I'm hoping Yummy isn't one to peek this being the only hard breach, but Replay seems to be caught up, knowing the Natix is in CC at one point, so Jay gets another kill onto Hades. It is a 4v3. So QuT doing well here, just to avoid the spawn peaks and just get to the map, and now they are punishing Locked Up for it. Turning this into a 4v2, just Gunner and Natix alive now. I have seen Gunner clutch some 1v4 situations, so he's got the potential to win this, but he's had a quiet game so far, just on 1-for-1. Natix just spectating this radio wave coming down the TV. Keeping himself nice and busy in the 2v4 situation. So Gunner here in the 1v4. Downs the Sledge, the wall getting set off behind him. He needs to kill the Sledge with the intel. He does get the kill, so Natix is back in the game, so it is a 2v3. No smoke glitch, he's not been watching his Reaper videos, and the Mozzie actually getting lit up by his own teammate smoke canister. Throws the C4 round. That might just downs for Nomad. It was quite a lucky throw, but does what it's intending to. So it's 2v2, and Gunner and Natix definitely have the ability to clutch this. The Nomad insight can just give the intel. It's preventing them from swinging out onto this breach. Now both defenders here, very low HP, but it is essentially a 1v2 here between Jay and the two defenders. Jay not going to be in a position to pick up the Nomad, and Locked Up winning the 2v4, taking this to 3-1. And alarm bells are ringing for me here for QUT, who really needed that round to stand a chance. I'm concerned their attacks aren't going to get going here. They've only got 2 more rounds, and if they don't get this to an even round count by over half, I think they could struggle. We are going to see Clubhouse as the second map here, which is polar opposite in terms of playstyle, in my opinion. Hades with the disrespect, bringing out the Tachanka. Could be a 6-pick onto a Jaeger, to be perfectly honest. Thinker actually getting shown here from QUT, 6-picking back onto a more normal loadout. And they're actually going on to a Frost into Tachanka, so Locked Up here have been just screaming confidence throughout. Possibly going to see a Tachanka spawn peak.
Defenders.
I've actually got people watching at the moment, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I didn't expect so many people to be tuning in for this one. So let's have a look at what Hades is doing. Struggling to find a spot for a turret here, so not a pre-planned strat. He is just making this up. And it's an interesting turret. His feet are very exposed no matter where he is being challenged from. Opening a couple of angles out into passport, which is questionable.
10 seconds left.
And the attackers are aware of this angle. I'm not sure that the drone actually spotted the turret here, so I'm hoping they don't try rushing in through passport, because they are going to be met by the Lord himself, who is making a ton of noise here.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Let's watch the replay, because he's the one who droned out passport. I'm worried he's going to be one to go straight for it and punishes Natix on the over-aggressive spawn peak once again. And sees the cast as well, nearly getting a double kill there if he pre-fired it. Lalon has given up on getting kills and has just gone on the Monty instead. Pulls out Picasso, who is pretty thoroughly stuck, but I think he's got the rotate behind him. So yeah, Picasso's able to just drop down, but Jay here, I think actually caught the... It wasn't Picasso, he caught the Valkyrie. I'm not sure where she was at the time, but... Replay, just looking down, face checking the rotate. And Jay here has just walked into sight here. Sees the Tachanka, does kill the Tachanka. 5v2 situation. And QUT here are doing a really good job of punishing Locks for their overconfidence. And Picasso double shotgun doesn't do anything and it is 3-2. I gotta say, Locked Up got what they deserved for that round. That strat was abysmal. I'm pretty sure they were joking around, but I think rounds like that could give QUT the chance to get back into this. Locks here not wanting to go back to vents by the looks of it, so they are going on to bathroom tellers. This looks like a little pretty legit strat so far. Got the castle and the echo, which is pretty viable for holding this. And the smoke as well, so lots of shotguns available here to set up the site however they want it. They've got the castle barricades to remodel it, the mute jammers to slow down the attack. And of course the plant now from both smoke and echo is going to allow them to waste a lot of time. I'm wondering if the echo is being brought out as a reaction to the Monty from last round, just giving them something to knock the Monty off his shield.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Bathroom tellers is a weird site. The square meter range of this site must be one of the smallest in the competitive map pool, and it's right next to an external wall and window, so you have to hold from above, you have to hold this angle, which I assume Locked Up have a strat for this. I don't think this is made up on the spot. The attackers here with the Monty could just walk in and try and turtle plant, but I'd imagine the smoke and echo is going to make that very difficult for them, so we'll see how this turns out. They are missing a wall on office, which could hurt them quite badly here. This Nomad is very aggressive. She likes getting to the building quickly. I just wonder if all the spawn peaks that have been coming out, whether or not this is a good idea, but seems pretty confident. Taking in through CC. I'm not sure if anyone's droning for them at the moment. I think they're just winging this. Monty walking into a couple of castle barricades, but he is able to just walk straight past his jammers, so getting rid of a little bit of the benefits of utility here that the defenders are running. Nomad does just face check the castle and get punished for it. Natix with a nice shot. Lyle on here as the Monty should be the one walking through the doorway first. I think that was poor from QuT. Their communication here not looking the greatest. Natix with another kill. Monty does see the guy below him, but decides to walk straight past it and doesn't get punished for it somehow. He has made his way into office and then finally gets taken out from behind. So 2v5, 1v5, and I don't think I've ever seen a game where I've seen so many 1v5s within the first few rounds. These rounds have been near flawless from both teams when they have been winning. Obliv Ollie has got 2 kills so far. He is just trying to make things happen for his team here. Trying to get them to an even split on the half, but it looks like a pretty difficult opportunity. And yeah, 4v2 split for the half. Natix absolutely popping off. J-Power as well, with that 4k at one point, did just win a round for his team, and the scoreboard does show the impact he's had, but not enough so far to level out the half. Now, Locked Up have been very confident in that first half. I wonder if they're going to be the same on attack. They could potentially play quite quickly. The Ash Sophia, actually no, going on to a Monty, so potentially slowing things down a little bit, going back to their normal Nomad Blackbeard combo. And Natix actually going on the Thermite, so no Ash Sophia coming out. Now, I don't know with QuT how strategic they are. I don't know if it's just something they're throwing together. They have got the Alibi, which I've seen Dark Zero do a cool setup in CCTV, with a shield on the oval desk and an Alibi Prismus out on the roof to annoy the attacker. So Alibi does have her uses on this site.
Many bombs as they can.
And that is a lot of drones going straight through site, so I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, actually no, just the Thermite drone into site. Sorry, the other drone's downstairs at the moment. Surprised to see the Thermite of all people use this drone as the one in sight. Similar kind of setup. Neither team being particularly brave with their roam here. They're just extending out into office. No, I haven't seen any team trying to hard hold CC so far. There's been a couple of roamers in there, but no reinforcements, no shields.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
These hatches I don't think have been opened by the team up for the top floor defences. No spawn peaks coming out here from QuT. Now, Moon is going to go set on this ambush rappel. I've spoken about Moon in previous casts, and the fact that he loves to just set on this rappel. And I don't think QuT are the kind of team to know this, so I reckon he's probably going to get away with quite a lot of time sat on this window. Replay down already, I think by Moon, so QuT not knowing their opponents at all here, just getting punished by what they do every single time. And again, Moon just allowed to sit on this window, no attempt for a run out from archives, no run out from vents. And this is poor from QuT. They're just getting pulled apart by the same thing that I've seen Locked Up do against several different teams now. Oh, Zeri, no! He does get one of them. He had the opportunity then to get both, but just misses it. That much charge going off right next to this Valkyrie, who is hard stuck between the buck. Natix, I don't know. Does get finally punished by the breach, which Natix costs his life to get open, so Lalon and Jay, we have seen one team already clutch a 2v4, but I don't think that it's going to go the same way, and Hades and Zeri finish it up. It is 5-2 here, and it's been a very quick game of border so far. Lalon definitely looking rusty. QuT struggling. At least they have got a couple of rounds on the board, so not a complete whitewash here for them, but I think this is heading towards probably a 7-3, I reckon. And I do think Locked Up are just on attack in particular. They have such a unique playstyle that they catch so many teams out with it. I just don't think QUT are the kind of team to be able to do their research beforehand and know this kind of thing. They tend to be quite an adaptive team, so we might see them pick up on the fact that they are having a player on the sandwich window, might go for a run out, but I think it's probably too little too late at this point.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Lalon making this rotate. I don't know if they had this last time. They just need to play a little bit more passive. Well, not necessarily passive, but they were walking past the sandwich repel. Moon will just sit there with the Blackbeard the entire time. Just avoid it. Just do not step into his line of sight. Just hide in small office with a smoke. Play half wall. Roam below to try and protect the half wall. I don't know if they're going to adapt. It looks like they're moving more over to the southeast side of the map, and I think they could get punished for it because Locked Up will just open this wall pretty much flawlessly. They've got the Buck to go below, they've got the Ash to support the roam clear below. And then once they get control of this, they will just air jab it, and you're not going to be able to retake it. And QUT look like they're just planning to surrender it, and I don't think that's the play. They need to hard contest downstairs, and yeah. I'd be surprised if we see them go back to this site after this round. Now that's really interesting. Moon always counters people playing below him by just going on upside down rappel and pre-firing that. So many people with shotgun like to look up at him, but he's just adapted to it. So no laying under the window to counter it. Thermite here, just waiting for the opportunity to get this wall open. Puts a single bullet through the wall, no wall bang. And the defenders are doing a much better job of not walking past this Blackbeard, but an edge up going up in the background here, not getting punished by the looks of it. So Bandit playing extremely aggressive now the wall is going, but he does get killed. So again, Locked Up just forcing their way into Armory here and punishing the defenders once again, who find themselves in an even worse situation. Tough here coming out from QUT to try and adapt to this. Lalon able to get his first kill of the game. He does go with the headshot, but misses on the Buck, and it is match point here for Locked Up, who are just forcing their way into Armory. Just brute force. The air jabs, the Blackbeard, the Buck, and the Ash. It's really difficult to stop here. The problem is I think QUT are just losing their micro game. So for example, the bandit tricking is just getting punished every single time because of the vertical below, and I think even if they throw people below to try and hold it, I just think they would get roam cleared, and I just think they're getting outplayed individually. I don't think they would be able to counter strat this without just playing well. They are going on to bathroom tellers, so they've completely given up on the site, which I think is wise, but let's see if they actually have the ability to pull off another site against Locked Up. I normally ask for predictions. I forgot to do so for Border, so I think most people at this point would be predicting a 7-2.
Attackers need to locate and
but
defuse
if you are
bombs.
watching right now, put your predictions down for Clubhouse. Do you think that QUT can pull this back to 6-6? Pull off a miracle? Maybe play all of the bottom floor sites from this point onwards and win all of them? So they look fairly confident in how they're setting this up. They've got the shotguns to make the angles. I'm not sure if the castle doesn't seem to be opening much, which makes me concerned that they don't actually know the necessary angles.
Bomb located by attackers.
Lalon on here, just make him rotate, and we've got the hatches open, but they don't have any of the vertical destruction looking down into the default plant spot. They don't have the angles here looking down into the hallway, they don't have the angles looking down into vents at all, so I I hazard to say they haven't practiced this site very much.
Bomb located by attackers.
Lalon down here on his own, just running around. He's got one player down in sight with him, which I don't think is a play. I think he needs to have 4 or 5 people upstairs with this site. Castle only just setting up these. Oh no, he's not even setting them up. He's given up at this point. Natix has opened up the site wall, and Zeri is actually just walking through sight at the moment. J-Power gets a kill onto Moon. Zeri with the kill onto J-Power, and then Ollie trading it back. So 4v2 here, and actually I think ill-advised push straight into sight from Locked, who could have very easily taken his top floor control. I do think that's a weakness with Locked. They have a very specific plan in mind for each site, and I don't think they adapt. I think they just roll with it, and they don't necessarily pick up on teams having mistakes in other aspects. So I don't think the top floor hold here was very strong from QuT. I think Locked Up could have broken it down quite easily, but they just show no intent of doing anything other than their original plan. This is still winnable for them, of course. They've pulled it back to just a one-man disadvantage, but I just think they would have been a lot more effective going in through the top floor here. And now top floor control mostly secure for QuT. The 2 players up here I think have enough angles at this point. I just don't know if they've got the intel, if this smoke is playing such a pivotal role. If he gets killed, the defender's going to really struggle to have the intel downstairs. No Valcor Maestro coming out, and that is a smoke gone, and now that is worrying for QuT here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make use of the vertical, because I haven't seen them create the essential angles, and they are just going to die through the hatch, and that's sloppy from them. They needed more opportunities to peek out from lesser known angles and hatches. And now Gunner is planting in sight, and Replay's got the awful situation of having to decide whether or not to drop down. And there's just no intel, they just don't know this plant's going down. Far, far too late from a bandit here as he tries circling around now to the Archives hatch, which I think is the play, but he's going to get air jabbed, he's lit up, he's got about 20 HP to try and clutch his team's chance on border here. Sees the drone next to him, sees the guy go up east. If he gets a shot onto the Nomad, he's got a chance, but got a C4 still in pocket, which he could use on the guy above him. See, here's the guy coming down and misses his shots, and 7-2 here for Locked Up. A very, very convincing game of order. So 7-2 for the first map. We are going on to Clubhouse next. Probably going to roll straight through because I know that Locked Up wanted to go for dinner. The teams are going to swap sides. Locked will be attacking Clubhouse first. I apparently got booted out of my custom game, so just gonna set it back up. I don't know what's caused that. I have no idea what is going on here. My PS4 is just saying I don't have PS Plus. I'm not sure if this is a PlayStation error.